Hey guys, welcome back. Um, I'm wondering if maybe taking that 5 hour energy is making me feel worse about myself. I thought it would make me feel better, but maybe I'm like hyper aware of, like I'm so awake that like I'm aware of how bad I'm doing. I don't want that. I already have DQ sticks. Oh, well in this dungeon they don't give you DQ sticks and you need them, so I guess that's why they have that guy show up and be like, I have DQ sticks for you. Guess I wanted to talk about therapy stuff today. I'm actually almost out of my notes, which is weird. That wasn't what, I didn't want to do that. Okay. I think if you do this, and then this, and then maybe shoot him with like a, what did I just do? Oh. That did something. Ah. Is he dead? No. Okay, so I did mention last week I was doing the meetup thing. Oh, this app. I downloaded this app, and I guess I didn't really expect to do anything with it. But he was like, your homework is that gonna hurt him? Seems like you have to get his tail. Nope. But he got me to sign up for something while I was there. I mean, my homework for last week was to sign up for something, and I didn't. I knew I wasn't going to. Oh, he's dead. Good. But when I was there, he was really pushing me to sign up for something. And we were talking a lot about it, like, why don't I want to do it? I was having a hard time explaining it, why it was so hard for me. But I did sign up for something while I was there. It's February 29th. It's like a hike in New Jersey State Park or something. So let's see if I can remember what I was thinking about. Well, the first thing that comes to mind is I remember telling him, like, I think I might be able to do some. Oh, maybe I just have to light stuff and not kill all the guys. So let's just do that. I didn't see this here. I think I might be able to force myself to do something, but I have to treat it like homework. Like, you're doing this because it's homework and you're not going to have fun, you're not going to enjoy it, but you have to do it because it's like your homework. And sometimes you don't like your homework, but you have to do it. And he kind of pushed back a little bit on that idea, and he was like, well, you might not enjoy it the first time, but eventually you're going to enjoy it. Like, the more you do it, the less you'll worry. And I was like, I mean, okay, I don't think that's true. If it is true, it doesn't help to know. Or he thinks that knowing that information is going to help me push the button to sign up the first time. But I know that it's not going to help me do that because I don't think it's true. I think no matter how many times I do it, like I tried to explain last time, like no matter how many times I eat green beans, I'm not going to like green beans. I'm never going to like it. But I mean, I'm here, I'm alive, so I'm just going to do this because it's like homework and I'm like trying to do stuff. That's all I can do. And I'm never going to like it, but I have to try, and I just have to force myself to do stuff I don't like doing because that's what life is. he kept pushing. I mentioned that like 2 or 3 times, and he kept pushing back. Like, well, no, come on, you think you're not gonna like it, but you've never done anything like this, so how do you know you're not gonna like it? And I'm like, that was the frustrating thing. I was like, why can't I explain to him how I know, like, I've been alive almost 27 years and I've never liked being around people, so why would this be any different? It doesn't make sense. Like, I've been around people my whole life. I live in New Jersey, and it's the most densely populated state. And I live in North Jersey, which is, like, South Jersey's kind of like, can be kind of like farmlands a little bit. But North Jersey, like, I mean, I live in the suburbs, but it's not like a city. But I'm around people all the time. Anytime I go outside, there's people there. I live in an apartment. There's people that live next to me. I go to work. There's people there. I go out to eat. It's gonna be packed with people. Even fast food restaurants, it's gonna be always packed because there's so many people around here. And I've never liked being around people. I was gonna maybe try to clip part of that green beans episode and post it on Twitter, because I was like, oh, this is a good analogy, but I was watching it back and I'm like, I did a terrible job explaining this green beans thing. I don't like green beans. I think I have to kill just one of them. Oop. I think I'm hurting him. Maybe not. So what else did we talk about? I mentioned this a while ago. Maybe I'm just being like stubborn. It doesn't feel like I am, but it's like, I don't think the solution to my social anxiety so it was possible that the only reason why I wasn't doing these social things was because I didn't have anybody forcing me to do it. No, that's not what I wanted to say. It was possible that the solution to my problem was just having someone say, you should do this thing. But now I know that's not the solution. I never really thought it was, but it was a good try. There's something frustrating about him just saying, like, me telling him I have social anxiety and him being like, okay, do social stuff. And I'm like, I don't, what? That doesn't seem like how it works. I'm telling you I can't do social stuff. How do I fix that part? And then I can do the social stuff. Because I feel like no matter what social stuff I do, I'm not going to enjoy it, like, ever. So is the solution really to just do social stuff and then eventually you'll like it? I don't think so. Because I've been doing social stuff my whole life and I've never enjoyed it. So that can't be the solution. And it's frustrating that seems like what he's getting at. And I mentioned this, like, the first time I started to see him. I was like, maybe I didn't explain to him good enough how bad my anxiety is, like, or how little I talk. And I mentioned that to him, and he's like, oh yeah, I know, you're not like the life of the party or anything. But I feel like I have to bring it up again, like, I don't ever talk, ever. Like, I don't know if you understand. He was saying, okay, here's the interesting thing. He keeps bringing this up, like, what if you, so here's an idea. He'll say this. what if you go to this hike and you meet someone who's an accountant, who loves baseball, who loves video games? Wouldn't that be good? Like, wouldn't that be exciting? And I'd be like, no, that would be even worse, because then I would know I would have to talk to that person. And I know I can't. It's like he would start talking to me about somehow he would know that I was a Met fan, and he'd be like, oh, hey, what do you think about the season? Like, you think they're going to do good? And I'd be like, I don't know. I can't talk. I don't know. I remember in school, and when I went to college, we did this orientation thing where you stayed over at the school. Oh, I'd have to throw a bomb up there. You stayed over at the school for a couple days, and that was really hard for me, but I did it. Like, you slept in a dorm, and it was like 3 days there, and you did like a bunch of activities and stuff. How do you do this? I remember having a really kind of bad moment where I was eating lunch, and I found a place to sit, which I was worried about, but like there was people there, and obviously I wasn't talking to them. Now throw it. No. And a guy, I was wearing a Jet shirt, I guess, and the guy was like, I remember the conversation, he was like, hey, you're a Jet fan? And I was like, yeah. Maybe I said, are you, or something. Oh, that's good. Okay. And he was like, yeah. And I remember him saying, maybe I should bring this conversation up in therapy, because this is a good explanation of why I don't, even when somebody like is engaging me and being friendly, it still goes bad. It goes even worse because I know I won't be able to talk to them. I remember he said, I guess the Jets had signed Plaxico Burress that year. And he was like, hey, so what do you think about Plaxico Burress? Like, that's a big deal. Like, he was really good on the Giants. You think he's going to do a good job? I was like, yeah, that's good. I think that's all I said. And then there's that moment when you talk to somebody and you can sense their disappointment. Like, oh, I thought you were going to be able to talk to me, but now you're not, so... And then the conversation's over because you're not really giving them anything to go off of. And that always feels so terrible because, like, they're trying to engage with you and they're, like, being nice, and it's the worst. That's the worst feeling ever. Come on. Get the lizard, man. I like these little guys. Oops. I've had so many conversations like that. I've never had... I guess the thing that people who don't have social anxiety might think would be like, well, maybe you've had a bunch of negative experiences, like people bullying you or being like mean to you, and that's why you don't want to talk. But it's always been the opposite for me. People being so nice, and then I can't reciprocate anything. I can't be nice back, and then I feel disappointed, like I let them down. That's always been the worst thing. I feel like I explained that well. So maybe I could try to explain that to him. It seems like I might blow his mind if I mention that, because he didn't seem to understand how. Because I did bring this up 2 different times, this week and last week. He's like, what if you meet somebody and they're like an accountant? Like, you're an accountant, so wouldn't that be good? Like, you'd have a common interest and you'd be able to talk about stuff. The accountant thing's not a great example because I don't really like accounting. Even though I got a degree in it. I mean, I just don't really have anything to say about it. But I guess if I was forced to talk about the Mets, I could Like, I like the Mets. I like watching the Mets every day, and it's fun for me. So if somebody was a Met fan, that would be a better example. Oh, I think I have to end. Oh yeah, I'm way over. Whoops. Went off on a bit of a run there. So hopefully you get the idea. But he had trouble. Maybe I could talk more about it tomorrow. Alright. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.